Just you know, my name is Miss Marlon Xtravaganza.
Roger, you're on
Things are changing, but nothing changes.
Miss Marlon Xtravaganza. 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 Xtravaganza.
Le roi est mort. Vive le roi.
És én annyit szeretnék mondani ehhez, hogy tulajdonképpen én 38 éves vagyok, nekem egy kicsit későn jött ez a TV sztori, úgyhogy én már nem kezdek ebbe bele. Én egy pre-operated transsexual vagyok, ez azt jelenti, hogy egy csöcsös nő vagyok, oké? Okay?
right, don't forget you're tuned into the hottest station on the internet nation. Is your boy Izzy Stars the Beja, and you're rocking with the best. I have a special guest today. I have DJ Luna in the building on the ones and twos. Please give it up for DJ Luna. Don't forget you can find him on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. And we're gonna have a cutty night for y'all. Don't forget I have a special guest. I have Carmen Imaculada Xtravaganza. Coming up a little bit later. You know what the number is, 347-709-0655. Call us up if you have a shout out. We don't love you. Want to give a shout out to my babies out there, my LaBeijas, turning out and tuning in tonight. Yes, here on BallsTeamRadio.com. If you're not logging, log in right now. I want to give a great big birthday shout out to Sadaisha Shimmers, Nahi Gonzalez Infinity, Angelique Rodriguez Latex, Zumi Pink Lady Infinity. Want to give a great special happy birthday to Icon J Blonick. Also want to give a great big happy birthday to Andrea Bonilla Infinity. Also want to give a great big special happy birthday shout out to James Burrell Icon. Also want to give a great big happy birthday shout out to Jasmine Perez Revlon, Joshua Diaz Ninja, and also one great big happy birthday shout out to Power Infinity. Real quick, I have one special birthday shout out. I want to give a great big birthday shout out to legendary Marlon Extravaganza. It was her birthday, and unfortunately, she's not doing so well now. So we would like to send out our prayers to her tonight. And want to give a great big shout out to Tanny, Tiberius Stretch Ninja, by the way. We got a live show for y'all. We have Carmen Imaculada Xtravaganza coming up soon. Don't go nowhere. On the ones and twos, I have DJ Luna on the ones and twos. Don't forget, we'll be right back right after this on BronxRadio.com, the hottest station on the internet nation.
Everywhere I go. that you'll never keep. I'm on an yeah. Irresistible.
loving, you need some, get some loving, you want some, get some loving, you need some, get some. You are so special. Couldn't get you off my mind the day I met you. I thought you'd never be unkind, but all the loving that you gave me from the start would be for nothing. 'Cause our love just fell apart. Now my heart is free. I no longer have to be a victim of your lying. Yeah, I found a lover that is good, and he treats me like he should. Now I'm no longer crying. If you want some love, I gotta get some love. When you need some love, I gotta show you love. You gotta feel that love inside my heart. Know that you want loving. Get some love, you want some. Get some love, you need some. Get some love, you want some. Get some love, you need some. Get some love, you want some. Get some love, you need some. Get some love, you want some. Get some love, you need some.
Just a few, I have icon Carmen Imaculada Xtravaganza coming soon. Please don't go nowhere. Please give a round of applause for my guest tonight. It's going to be epic, darling. All right, ladies and gentlemen, the time that you have been waiting for. I have the icon, Carmen Imaculada Xtravaganza. Say hello, Carmen.
Hello, everybody. How are you?
We're so honored to have you on the show.
I'm so happy to be on here. It's been a while. It's that time.
Wow. Congratulations. How do you feel?
I feel great. I
hear
really good.
You are in Florida now.
Yes, I am, and I'm here to stay. I have family that lives here in Orlando. My sister's been here for quite a few years. She moved here from Spain 5 years ago.
Yes.
And I thought this was a perfect place to be because me and Fontessa were like, oh my God, we as kids we were very, very close. So you can imagine.
Wow, amazing. Once again, welcome to BallroomSceneRadio.com. First of all, real quick, I want to thank everybody who tuned in tonight. You know, you have a lot of fans, Carmen.
Yes. I'm an old school.
So we have an interesting show for you guys today. We're going to give you some ballroom history. Don't forget, it's your boy Izzy Stars LaBeija in the building. And I have the icon, Carmen Imaculada Xtravaganza. For those who don't know, give a little brief discreet about who you are for those who are new to the ballroom scene, by the way. You there, Carmen?
I'm here. I'm sorry. I didn't really hear you.
I said, don't give all the tea, but give a little description for those who are new to the ballroom scene. Give a little brief description about yourself.
Of what? Of the ballroom scene in my time?
Yeah, no, who you are. Give a little brief description of who you are for the new children who are coming into the ballroom scene.
Okay. Well, my name is Carmen Extravaganza. I started as Carmen St. Laurent very, very early in my 16 years old. I met Robbie St. Laurent at Better Days years ago. That was on 9th Avenue, between 8th and 9th Avenue. I think it was 52nd Street. I can't really remember the street, but Better Days was a club everybody used to go to. It was awesome. And I met Robbie St. Laurent there, and I didn't know anything about the ball scene, and he got me started. And from that moment on, I was at St. Laurent for 2.5 years. And my first ball as Carmen St. Laurent was in the East Village on 4th Street and 3rd Avenue. And I walked safe for the first time as a 17-year-old as Carmen St. Laurent, and I slammed that ball. It was really good. I remember Duchess LeWong was there. She's still around. She's a mother. And yeah, and it was my first experience, and that was my first time getting that adrenaline of the ballroom scene and the competition, and it was just magic. It really was. It was magic. I remember this child. Her name was Tracy LeWong, and she lived in my building, and she told me about the ballroom scene. And in the beginning, I was scared. I was like, oh my God, all these people, what are they doing? And she told me, she said, just go out there. You see those people sitting in those chairs? Those are judges. They're going to see how beautiful you are. You just smile at them and I just did my own thing, but I was scared. I was like, oh, and that was my first grand prize. Yeah.
Work. Amazing. So
that was in 1980, I think. 80, yeah. It was pretty early in my age.
We are honored to, you know what I mean, to have you aboard, and you know, it is amazing for you to be on the show telling your story. This is great.
I know. And then from that moment on, I started, Robbie started taking me to the Elks Lodge. And from that moment on, that's my history from the ballroom scene. Word. Yeah, it was pretty exciting, I love the adrenaline. That was my drug for the ballroom scene, the adrenaline that I got when the competition. And that's when I met Octavia. I met Octavia when we moved from Manhattan, from the Lower East Side to Harlem. I lived on 129th Street between St. Nicholas Terrace and Convent Avenue in Harlem. And Robbie brought, Octavia was a young baby. He brought her to me, to my house, and that was my first gay daughter.
Wow.
And yeah, we just used to hang out, and I schooled her a little bit about makeup, and I was already into my little scenery and stuff, and she picked up, and then history had it. You know, I met Danny Extravaganza one night, and he heard all about me walking and carrying on, and he tried to convince me, you have to be in this house, you're Latin, this and that. I was like, well, I'm half Latin, half black. You know, no, but you have to be in this house. And for some specific reason, I wanted to be in that house.
Word.
And
Latino.
yeah, but what he told me was, when you win, the first thing you have to do is take that trophy to the extravaganza table and give it to Mother Angie. I was scared. I was so scared. And that night I won, and I did just that. I took my trophy and I said, Mother Angie, here's my trophy. And from that moment on, I think it was 1983, that I became Carmen Extravaganza, and the rest is history.
Work. Amazing.
Yeah.
Now
Yep,
let's go back a little bit. Let's start a little bit from the beginning. How was it for you growing up at home as a child, you know? Because I know your mom was very, very supportive of you.
Say that again. I'm sorry.
How was it for you growing up at home, you know, being a child at home, you know, back in the day?
Oh, okay.
I know your mother was very supportive of you, no?
My mother was and my dad was too, but they were divorced. But my dad told me, as Carmen, as an adult already, he said, honey, I knew when you were 3 years old. He says, the feminine, I saw everything, every little movement, you know how parents stare and look, they pick up. And my dad was in the Navy for so many years. And he just knew. He said, I knew it was coming. He says, but you're my child. What am I supposed to do? He says, I love you, and, you know, and that's it. My mom took it. It's so strange because my father was Muslim.
Wow.
And it's so strange because I've seen, you know, and I've heard of Muslim parents when they have gay kids, or it's just... At an early age of 18, and he said he loved Europe because coming back to the United States, it was so different, you know, between the racial thing that was going on in those years and his time. So he met my mom, they fell in love, you know, and the captain from the base, the naval base that my dad was stationed in, came out of the base to talk my mother out of marrying my father. But anyway, the long story was, they accepted me. They loved me from the time I can't even remember. And when I became Carmen and my mom first saw me, that was it for Django. No more Django. It was Carmen all the way.
Wow. Let's talk a little bit about, you know, coming out. You know,
Hello?
How was it for you? Yeah, how was it for you coming?
Hello?
Yeah, I'm here. Are you there?
Oh.
My bad.
I was like, okay.
Listen.
I was like, oh my God.
How was it for you coming out? You know what I mean? How was it for you, you know, coming out the closet, you know, being who you were, you know, being introduced to the village and the club
What
scene?
happened was I was in Washington, D.C. as a young teenager, and I went to a military Catholic school. My father's sister, Anave.
Catholic school, wow.
She was an amazing woman. I mean, of course she was very Catholic and stuff, and I had a lot of with her but she meant good for me. She wanted the best for me, of course. But I already knew what I wanted, and I wanted Carmen to come out. Right. That's where I met. Then she took me from that military school and put me in a private school called the Washington Ethical Society. Wow. It's in Washington, D.C. And I met Brooke Extravaganza. We met in the 10th grade, and right away, as soon as I met her and she met me, we hit it off. Wow. We knew exactly what we wanted. We just ran away from home. It was just that simple.
Never
we ran away from home. It was no ifs, ands, or buts about it. We didn't want to waste any more time. And then we just started, you know, our little thing. We worked the streets. It was hard times, you know, and we had to make what we had to do. And one day I was looking at television in one of the hotel rooms in New York Avenue, Washington, D.C. And you would not believe it. I'm looking at Kojak. And I said to Brooke, this is where we need to go. She said, where? I said, look, New York City. New York City. And sure enough, we made our money. We went to the railway station, and we hit the Big Apple. And from that moment on, it was hard times, though. Let me tell you, it was really, really hard times. But there was a lot of magic in New York. It was magic, the nightlife, meaning the club scene, the everything. But the streets were harsh. You had police. You had this one. I remember this one cop. His name was Louis. This is in the Village at the time, the West Village, Greenwich, and the West Side Highway.
Right.
There was this one cop named Louis. He hated the girls. Hated. And let me tell you. And there was another cop named Murphy who used to go out with one of the girls. And he used to come out an hour before Louis used to come out and warn the girls, warn his girlfriend to warn the rest of the girls, so we can run out and go home. And yeah, it was hard times, but you know, everybody did what they had to do and made what they had to make, and it was. But New York was different. New York, it's so different from then to now because the girls have open doors. You got so much opportunity out there now. It's so much things that you can go and talk to, so much help out there. It's amazing. And I'm living to see this. And, you know, because I talk to some of the girls, you know, I have friends from my, listen to this. This is so interesting. I have a girlfriend, a really good friend of mine from Spain, who's also a Navy brat like myself.
Wow.
But she became very religious. Listen to this. Very, very religious. And what happened, I started talking to her on Facebook, and she referred me as him, he, this, and that. And I told her, I said, listen, honey, if my parents didn't do that, I'm not going to allow you to do this. So happened, her daughter is a lesbian. And now her son is transgender. So what did she do? She called me, and I said, you know what? There's a God. There's a God. And I spoke to Alexandra, that's her name. Her daughter's name now is Alexandra, because she was in the middle of committing suicide because her mother's religion is pouring some. You can't do that to your child. You can't, you can't treat kids in that when you're in that age in a way where you're pushing them against the wall where there's no way out. You know, so I sat on this phone. I sat here and talked to this young kid and her mother, Donna. And I told her, I said, what she needs right now is not preaching. She needs love. She needs understanding. She needs your support. And sure enough, this girl has bloomed to a beautiful girl. And she and Donna, her mother, my friend, is so happy and so thankful. You know, so there's ways I'm happy to be here, to be a vessel to help people, to help whoever. I mean, I've experienced, believe it or not, I've experienced homeless. I've been homeless. I have been in the street for 5 months while I was in London.
Wow.
Because of people with drug addiction that I thought were friends. And what happened was they chose the drug, and I was out there for 5 months. But there is a God. And there is good people out there. There is good people out there that are willing to help you. And if you have I mean, I'm a diabetic. I was out there for 5 months. I was in a place called Shelter from the Storm in London. And if anybody knows London, King's Cross is called. It's like it's like what Times Square used to be. That's what King's Cross is. Wow. King's Cross is. And it was amazing. I've seen everything. To be the person that I was, that I had everything, I didn't need anything, and God say, okay, honey, it's time for you to wake up. I'm going to show you the different side of the world, the different side of living. And I saw it. But you know what? I got sick meaning I had ketoacidosis. That's a diabetic coma. I went into a diabetic coma a few times.
What?
And he just showed me the way. I'm not a religious person, but I do believe, and I do believe there's something beautiful and something that loves all of us, all of us. But it's up to you. It's up to you to do what you have to do right in this life. And I believe I'm doing it. I've done it. I've been there. I've experienced it. I've fallen. I've been lifted up. And I'm living really good now. I'm happy. I'm married. I have a great man who I've known for years, but God put us together now.
I know that's right. Shoo.
Yep.
I love a great story. A love story, by the way. You know, especially when it turns from a negative to a positive. That's just amazing.
Exactly. You know, there's just so much out there, and and nowadays it's so much help out there. It's incredible. It's incredible because when this woman Donna was going through with her daughter, I said, Donna, you live in North Carolina. There's a lot of LGBT out there that can help Alexandra, and sure enough, she looked it up, and she's doing good. And I'm so happy. I felt really, really good that I can be there for somebody, you know, for anybody. I can sit down with the kids. Some of the kids that ask me, Carmen, what was it like? Or Carmen, what can I do so I won't do this or I won't? And I can only give you my advice. I can only give you the light that I have, that it's not harmful, that I'm willing to share with you. You know, what you take it, fine. You don't take it, and you have to live your own and do what you do.
Oh, that's right. Yes, you know, everyone should have, you know, a great experience in life. Allow yourself, you know, to have time to grow and learn, you know, and mature and enjoy the.
Oh, we all have to learn. We all fall and we all get up. Some do, some don't. Some continue the malignant that's out there, but you will wake up. You will wake up, and he's out there. He's out there. I've experienced it. You know, I was in a coma for 9 days. In a diabetic coma. And my doctor in London told me, he says, Carmen, you need to go home. Wow. You need to go home. I have no family in London. I had nobody. My family's in Spain, but I didn't want to go to Spain. I have all my brothers, all my siblings. My family's here in the United States.
Right.
So, that's life.
Yeah. Everyone has a unique experience. You know, the best thing about it is everyone makes it out and, you know, gets to that positive, you know, level in life. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Right. Wow.
Yeah.
Amazing. You know, everyone is not as different from each other as we all think we are. You know. One thing I wanted to talk about was, you know, the club scene for you. How was the club scene for you? You know, growing up, you know, experiencing all this. What was the club scene like for you?
The club scene was magical. I mean, Gigi's Barnum Room was a place in Midtown and Hell's Kitchen. Well, 45th between 6th and Broadway. It was a place where the girls back in those days. When me and Brooke came to New York City, we stayed at the Normandy Hotel, which was right across the street from the Gigi's Barnum Room, Zenon's, all those clubs. But it was right in front of Gigi's Barnum Room. Yes. Gigi's Barnum Room was a place where they had follies. They had trapeze on the ceiling. It was beautiful girls. It was Mata La Beja. It was Tiny Show Business, Janet Valentino, Tracy Dior, yes. Blondie, Sugar Belair. They were follies. I was mesmerized watching those beauties on that stage coming out in folly outfits, and I wanted to be a folly. So I went to the dressing room, I knocked on the door, and John LaFleur came out. Wow. And he looked at me, he looked down at me, he says, how can I help you, child? And I said, what does it take to be a folly? How old are you? I'm 16. Come back in 2 years. But it was amazing. And at that same place, because I remember when I first came to New York, people thought I was Dominican, Puerto Rican. So nobody believed that I was black. Well, they did. They knew I was black, but they didn't believe I was Spaniard, that I came from Europe. Wow. So what happened one afternoon, I came out of my hotel, and I went to the Gigi's Barnum Room. And it was pretty empty, but it had a few people having their cocktails. And a friend of mine named Abba Hollywood, who was amazing, beautiful. She's sitting down with this distinguished man with a twisted mustache, black hair with a little small ponytail, and she introduced me to him. this is Salvador. So I say, hi, nice to meet you. This is Carmen. So then he says to me, what part of Spain are you from? This is so amazing because I didn't even know of this man until now when I'm grown up. And I told him what part of Spain I was born. And he looked at Alba and he said to her, she is from Spain. Back then, I found out, later on in time, I found out that man that she introduced me to was Salvador Dali. I don't know if you ever heard of him. He's an amazing, iconic star, painter. He's amazing, amazing.
Wow.
And that was him sitting in this bar with her, having cocktails, and she just wanted to know if I was really Spaniard. So this was a Spaniard because he was from Spain, and he told her, yeah, she's from Spain. So that shut a lot of the girls up. And then, of course, when they met my mom at the Black and Gold ball that me and Brooke gave at the Mark Ballroom, the Mark Ballroom, my mom was sitting there, so everybody came. Oh, this is Carmen's mother. And, yeah, those were good years. New York, at that time, New York was magic. There was people, there was so much talent. And even in the gay community, there wasn't really a gay community, but the gay world, you know, it was just so much. We lost a lot of beautiful and great, talented people. You know, it's the new generation would have seen what we had then. They would have been like, oh wow, it was magic. New York was magic. New York City, Hell's Kitchen was my playground.
Wow, you're bringing back
Putting
so many
it that
memories.
way.
Wow.
My playground. It was amazing.
Jeez.
Amazing.
You know, it's a shame, you know, today New York City is not, you know, a lot of our magical playgrounds are not around anymore.
No.
It's so sad.
Yeah, but you know what thing, time changes, people change, everything I guess has to evolve, you know, everything has to change, so.
Right.
But I'm just glad I was there to experience all that beautiful and that magic, and it was just amazing. The girls would call your hotel, Carmen, what are you wearing? Where are you going? I'm going to Zenon's. Oh, well, I'm going to the 220 afterwards. The 220 was the after hours. Oh, I'm going to the Sound Factory. Oh, what's in the Sound Factory? Oh, well, Grace Jones is going over here. What was it called? Paradise Garage. That's where the House of Extravaganza was founded, right there, Paradise Garage. David DePino.
With the music and the culture, oh my God. Paradise Garage.
Yeah, it was amazing. It was amazing.
You know, you can just turn on the music and just hear. You know, the magic is like captured. You could just hear the music, and the magic is like brought back for just that moment until the song is over. You
sickening,
know
sickening.
Yeah, houses
and everybody. I remember going into the studio one time. Well, I went a few times, but this one time, and it was like nothing. You know, you see Elizabeth Taylor here. You see. What's her name? Brooke Shields, you see Keith Haring, and everybody's just minding their business, of course, doing their thing and having a good time and having cocktails and having this and having that. But it was just amazing, amazing.
Wow!
And I'm glad that I lived that era. You know, it's just. But I'm glad to be here and talk about it. Definitely.
Yes,
Definitely.
I am glad as well with you. You know, I mean, this is beautiful. I love when, you know, the icons and the legends come and talk about, you know, history. It's just, you know, because there's something that's magical about that time. You know what I mean? We don't find that in today's day anymore. So it's kind of mesmerizing. You know, it's a little addictive. You know, but one thing I wanted to go into next, I wanted to discuss, you know, because a lot of people, you know, when I say Carmen Extravaganza, they automatically say, you mean the one that was in Paris is Burning? You know, the one that was on the beach running free like a bird?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's a very legendary phrase. You know, tell us about Paris is Burning. Like, wow.
Yeah, I remember when Mother Angie named me Mother. It was I was shocked because I didn't expect that coming. But she saw how I was so into my house. I believe that I represented extravaganza in my pores, in my everything. I had Jose Disla that helped me with my outfits. Abraham Levy that helped me with my outfits. Oh my God. It was just, I was at every ball that Mother Angie said, okay, And the thing about it, it was so excited because we would all have a meeting, and everybody would have a sheet with the flyer, whatever house was giving the ball, and it was so organized. It was so amazing because the guys would have their, their categories prepared. The girls would have their categories prepared,
right.
And it was so good because I had a good eye for beauty. I had a good eye for a beautiful girl, and I would bring it to Mother Angie's attention. Look, Mom, I just seen this girl. She's sickening. Well, bring her to me.
Wow.
But don't be shady. She's like, I'm not going to be shady. I'm going to be real. Mother was very real. I love that about Angie.
Yes.
And I would bring it to her. Where did you find her? On 9th Avenue. It was just amazing. It was, oh my God. Those were great days. Those were great memories I'll never forget. Never, never.
Wow.
I remember when she did make me mother, this was in St. Clair Hospital while she was ill. And I didn't take the position at first because I had plans to come to Europe to Spain to visit my family. And I wanted to get away from the States for a while because at that time everybody was going. I mean, every corner you turn, Carmen, this one's in the hospital. Carmen, the funeral. Carmen, this. And I was like, oh my God, what's going on? People were dropping. They were just dropping.
Right.
And it was so sad. And then I had a friend that I went to school. Actually, I went to boarding school with, and we grew up, named Manuel, that was in Spain, and he was dying. So I was connecting with him, and I wanted to go to Spain. So Danny Extravaganza took over as mother.
Wow.
And I went to Spain, and then when I came back, Danny was gone, and Raquel Boom Boom was mother. And
yes,
I took
Raquel.
over as mother. And that was,
when I first laid eyes on Raquel, I was infatuated. I really loved her realness. I don't know. I just seen her, and I was like, wow. There was like when I first came. It wasn't when I first came out, but it was a couple of years after I came into the scene, and I was in Planet 28, aka the Clubhouse, and Raquel had came in, and I was like, who's that? And they was like, oh my God, that's Raquel. It was amazing. It was amazing.
It sounds like my little girl.
Yeah, she came in. She had the blonde, curly hair, very Latina. You know what I mean? And she was just very, had a smile on her face. Came in, walked, snatched. It was cute. I seen a lot of girls, and I was just amazed, how beautiful they were.
Yeah. Those were good old days. Ball scene has changed a lot, though, in the years. It's changed a lot, and I'm retired from all of that now. I mean, I'm going to this Friday, but I'm just gonna, expectate.
Yeah, I'm gonna be there. I'm going to be there. I'm actually going to be filming the event. And,
okay, that'll be great.
Yeah,
that'll be great.
I might come out for a category, so when you see Izzy Stars, La Beja on the runway, support. You know what I mean?
Definitely. And I'm going to tell you something. If it has to do with AIDS, I'm there. I'm definitely there.
Definitely.
I did it in Spain, let me tell you. I did it in Spain. Every time there was this one lady that opened the doors for modeling for me there. Her name is Alaska. She's a singer. She's an actress. And
wow.
She opened the doors for me.
Beautiful
for
name.
Everything there. Yeah,
Beautiful
she really outdid herself with me. And but I had to stop. It was modeling, especially being a diabetic. I had to stop. I was just too thin and too. It was good while it lasted, but it was good to quit. My mom was telling me.
Nothing is great if you have to do it forever. It's only for a little while. You enjoy it. After a while, you get over it. You know what I mean? That's the good thing.
No, I enjoyed it. I had a great time. I met a lot of people. I made good money, and I had great clothes all the time, and it was amazing. It was amazing. I remember I did a show for this lady who's the granddaughter of the ex-dictator of Spain, Franco. Her name is Cuca Godor. She's a high fashion designer in Spain now. And she found out the French man who did all her couture lines and did all the embroideries for her, he had the say-so of the models. So she found out my teeth, and she told Joan Cott, she said, I don't want Carmen in my show. This was April 9th, 1997 in Madrid, Spain, at the club Joyce Lava.
Wow.
And he told her, he said, well, and the thing about it, he wanted me to close the show as a bride. So he said, well, if Carmen's not in the show, I'm not opening this. I'm not doing this. So finally, I came out in the show. Nobody noticed. Nobody. I mean, and this was a place. It was a lot of politicians in her show and in the audience. So that's what she was worried about. And I was like, Cuca, I'm a model up there. I'm not a drag queen. I don't do drag shows when I'm doing modeling. This is different.
Right.
I said, if you want, I'll have a sign on my chest or on my forehead that says I'm a transsexual.
Wow.
So what happened was the show was a success. Amazing. So I went to the back room, and John Cat was with me. And sure enough, she came to the back room. She apologized. And she said, please come to the after party, Carmen. And I'm so sorry. I was so judgmental, and I didn't mean it like that. It's just that I've seen you on television, and I thought everybody was going to know and this and that. I said, well, you know what? I don't hide my gender. This is who I am. I'm creative. I love this. I love doing this. I said, just let me do my work. Sure enough, it was amazing. It was really good.
Amazing.
See, sometimes people judge without, I don't know, just...
Yeah, the world that we live in is a little difficult.
Yeah. But
tell us a little bit
much.
about the house, the history of the House of Extravaganza.
The history, well, I got in there in 83. It was founded, they keep saying 82, but it was founded in 81 because in 91 we had the 10th anniversary party at Sound Factory. So I don't know what people saying the house was founded, created in 1982. It wasn't, because I remember being in New York City and I was involved with somebody, and I remember Mother Angie calling me saying, Carmen, are you coming to the Sound Factory? It was 1991, and it was the 10th anniversary of the House of Extravaganza, and I didn't go, and I missed a big party. I know that.
Wow.
But yeah, it's 81 that the house was founded. Yeah. And we've done so much. I put the seed in Europe, and it bloomed. The children, the kids, and the stuff that I did there. I have some of my kids, the kids that are from here, from the United States, like Dominique Silver. She's over there in Barcelona, socking it, carrying on. The kids are loving her. It's so much. I did Ibiza, the island of Ibiza, which is like paradise. That's where all the beautiful and the celebrities go to. I did La Troya Asesina one year, 2006, the whole summer. It was amazing. It's just different. They don't. In Europe, it's so different. If you're a transsexual, they don't really care. It's as long as you do your job. Because I remember when I arrived in Spain, the photographer Alvaro Villarrubia, who's amazing. He's the one that did my whole book, my whole portfolio through Alaska. Alaska introduced me to him, and I wasn't afraid to let people know, because this is who I am. This is who I'm comfortable with. I don't need to hide from nobody.
Right.
I'm proud of Carmen. This is who I created. This is who God helped me create. So he loved that about me. Alvaro loved that about me. And he opened doors for me, too, in the fashion world over there in Europe. I did Fashion Week every year from 1995 to 2004.
Yes.
And that's when I stopped. That's when I said, enough is enough. And then I just started doing, public relations and clubs and doing parties. I had my own VIP lounge at the Space of Sound in Madrid.
Wow.
Amazing. Yeah.
Yes.
I can't complain. I cannot complain easily.
Oh my God. Sounds amazing.
Yeah.
Now, I'm going to bring up a name, and I want you to tell me what you remember about this name. Let's see. Okay, are you ready?
Go ahead.
Rotten Ralph Ruggiero.
Oh my God, Rotten Ralph, the hormone doctor. Oh my God!
Let's talk a little bit about him.
So he was so amazing. Oh my! You know where I met him? I met him in Casa Dario,
I know that's
and that
right.
was on 47 between 6th and Broadway. I met Rotten Ralph. Oh my God! You just brought back memories like crazy.
What?
He was amazing. He was such a sweet person.
Please tell us, because there's a lot of history in ballroom, in the gay community, in the ballroom community that's been lost. Tell us a little bit about this man, because people will not get to know who this guy was.
He was amazing. I remember him. He had his little van, and he the girls were looking for hormones and stuff. He had the best hormones. Besides Jimmy Treetop. Jimmy Treetop was the first person that me and Keisha Brooke, met when we came to New York. His hormones, Jimmy Treetop's hormones were impeccable. They were mixed German and French. And one shot in 3 days, you would be blooming. Your breasts would be, oh my God. It was just, and then he disappeared. And then Rotten Ralph appeared. And everybody was looking for Rotten Ralph. I was a hormone junkie.
Wow.
I was a hormone junkie.
I wonder, how did he get the name Rotten Ralph?
Wow.
Yeah.
I remember Ada Wise. He used to know where the girls were, and the girls would just see his van. Oh my God, he's there. Hormones. It was like, that's why I'm saying.
Let me find out he was a chaser.
That's why I'm saying it's so different now, because there's so much help out there. There's so much, and also with the it's just so much information out here nowadays that it's just I sit back and I'm like, wow, I can't believe these new girls have so many open doors.
Right.
So many escapes. It's not even an escape. It's a help. It's a everything. It's amazing. It's amazing. It's amazing.
Right. It's
you
crazy.
know.
It's incredible how far the trans community has come.
Let me tell you about the House of Continental. Can I?
Yes. Go ahead. Be my guest.
Okay. What happened was I became the founder of the House of Continental in 1992.
That's a gag.
And yeah, what happened was, Mother Angie and me, Octavia became an extravaganza. Now, remember, back in those days, Octavia was my rival, even though she was my daughter. In the ballroom scene at the Elks Lodge, when me and Octavia walked in there, the place stood quiet. It was like, oh, shit, this is going to be in. She sat me down many times. My baby sat me down many, many times. It was back and forth, back and forth. So when Angie made her an extravaganza, I was like, are you crazy? Why did you do that? Ooh. Now, you took the light out of the ballroom scene. So what I did, I was living with Lady Kateria at the time.
Wow, Lady
Remember Lady Kateria?
Yes.
Okay.
Wow.
And Danny Winstrol was a celebrity hairstylist. He had Phyllis Hyman. He had a bunch of stars. He used to do hair.
Wow.
So I founded the House of Continental that year. And we did La Copacabana in New York. We did the, what was the name, hon, of the ball? The Clash of the Titans ball at the Copacabana. Wow. And in the back of that flyer, it said, where is that flyer? The Copacabana flyer. It said, for greater change, anyway, the Carmen Extravaganza founder for greater change, because I made that change. They were honoring these people, Tracy Africa, Louis Extravaganza, the one from Madonna, Hand Control, Louis Extravaganza, so many other in the back of that flyer. And it was just a good thing. And then a lot of the girls from the house followed me to the House of Continental. Vanessa Monroe that lives here in Florida. A lot of the girls, we had the most, it was just exquisite. It was so beautiful. Grandfather had to tell you, he was right around us. He wasn't part of the house, but he was with us. He was with us. He was right there with us, enjoying the oh my God, Monica Monroe for Big Girls Runway.
Yes,
she was a Continental at the time.
Show as well. Yes.
Brenda Continental. Oh my God. Oh, there's so many of the girls, so many beauties. We just had, and we used to come out in Bob Mackies and sock it. I mean, in groups, if they had a model's effect, there would be 3 of the girls from the house. Boom! It was just amazing. At Paris Dupree Ball, Paris loved it. He was like, "What have you created here?" I said, "I didn't do nothing. I just said Continental." Paris. He loved it. And Pepper was amazing. Pepper loved the House of Extravaganza. Pepper LaBeija. That was a beautiful and a great person.
Yes.
Great person.
Wow.
I miss those old school girls. And you know what? The thing that I missed about a lot of those, I remember Linda. Linda was this one girl that used to be in the Grapevine. And she used to watch me go in and out of the club all the time. And she was a bartender, so she used to sit by the door in a booth. And just, I don't know what she read something. And one day she said, Carmen, come here. Can I talk to you? And I said, sure, Linda. But I didn't know Linda was transgender. She looked that real, that she had me fooled. But this is what happened. She said, Carmen, are you going to are you going to take it any further? And I said, what are you talking about, Linda? She said, your transition, are you going to take it any further? Like, are you going to go all the way? And I said, Linda, why are you oh my God, no. And she looked at me with a big smile. She said, you didn't know, did you? I said, no, are you serious? And the thing about Linda, she was like 34, I was 17, 18, and she said she had done this. She got castrated at a very early age because she was like me at the time. She didn't know whether she was going to go all the way or not. And she just put it like this. She says, right now, you're going through a battle of female hormone and the testosterone. But if you get castrated at an early age with careful and a good doctor, you can eliminate all those testosterone. No more fighting. You just take your hormones like you're supposed to, and everything's going to work out. I was so taken because she was so careful, the way she spoke to me, the way she, gave me information, and that same year, I had it done. And this is the result. I remember I told my mom, and you know what she said?
What she gave?
There goes my grandkids. Bendito. I was like, what, Mom? You was never going to have grandkids. Not from me. She goes, oh, my God, those were the jewels. I said, well, I wanted them for earrings. But it was, oh, my God. It was crazy. It was just so many people that were interested in I was interested in the old school and the old girls. So anybody I could sit down and talk to and find out information. It was like what the girls have now, all this open doors, and we have to look for the old school to get information, to find out where we can get the hormones, find out where you can do this, or find out where you can get help for that, So it was difficult, but I always respected my elders, always, because they knew a lot, and you learn from them. So.
Wow. Well, it's old school tradition. Back in the days, it was a very big thing to teach your kids to respect. Today, I don't know. I think everything went out the window, but America's gonna be America. I mean, come on.
Just finding information But I tell you, it's so easy right now for the girls,
Right. They do not know the true struggle. One thing I wanted to bring up was the silicone situation, because it's still a very hard situation to deal with. A lot of kids are going into, black market silicone. A lot of kids are destroying their lives.
I remember hearing about that. I remember back in the days. Well, it wasn't back in the days. It was in the 90s, which is back in the days, yeah.
Right.
But I remember a couple of people that used to do silicone on the girls and hit a nerve, or it was just so, the stories that I would hear, I was like, why? And then some of the girls would get so much, and I was like, where the hell are you going like that? What's going on? It's just, get a little bit, and or go to somebody that knows what they're doing.
You just
go
say,
to
where
somebody,
are you going with that?
Yeah, I mean, there's no, you can't, it's just so, it looks dangerous, It looks like it's just, and some of it is deformed or it's going to go down to your ankles eventually,
I've seen a lot of deformed trans bodies.
Yeah, you just have to be careful and know who you're going to. I went to Joanne, and let me tell you, Joanne in Harlem, and I'm sure the girls that are listening to this today, some of them, or if they don't, they have to know Joanne. Joanne is legendary.
Everyone knows Joanne and Natasha.
Exactly. And let me tell you, you know what Joanne told me? She said, Carmen, if you go to somebody else, do not come to me for correction. I don't do correction.
Oh, that's right.
She said, this is all you need. And you know what I did? I did my boy holes. That's it.
Word.
That's it. She filled them out, and she said, that's enough.
Now,
and I remember girls.
I know a lot of guys who have done their boy pockets. You know what I mean? And and that's it. It has nothing to do with being effeminate or anything. It's just, you just.
And gag. I did my body when I was living with Kateria.
Right.
With Lady Kateria. When I was out there, she said, Carmen, you want it done? I said, yeah. Look, I got boy holes. I don't want that shit.
Right.
And they took me to Joanne. Joanne was amazing because not only was she great, she wasn't greedy. She was not. She didn't have that greed. Like, oh, you need more? No. So she knew exactly what she was doing. When she told me that, I know. I said to myself, wow, this woman is great. She told me this is it. I went 3 times to fill out the boy holes, and my body was great. I said, okay, well, this looks pretty good. Even my mom, when my mom saw it, she was like, wow, Well, but it was amazing because these are people, and then you got the people out there that are just greedy. They'll tell you, oh no, you need a little more. Oh no, come again, yeah, because I got to do. No.
Because I got to pay my rent next week. So come again. Yeah, it got a little out of hand.
Exactly. And it's sad. It really is. It's sad. It's just sad.
Yeah, I know there was this one child who came out to 14th Street one night when I lived in New York in the 90s. And he decided he wanted to get his face pumped. I guess he was a drag performer. And, he came to 14th Street and we were, hey, Loca, how you doing? How, and we didn't know what to say. We couldn't even look at each other. When you stuck for words and you look to your friend for okay, bitch, take over and shit. You have to take this. We couldn't even look over. It was just instant sadness. Wow.
Yeah. And then really but don't ask me because I can't hold I just can't. I can't hold my mouth. If you're gonna ask me what you look like, the first thing I'm gonna say, did you look in the mirror? Because that's the one that's not gonna lie to you. Now, if you want to look in the mirror and keep lying to yourself, then you're stupid. You're really stupid. You're that stupid to go out, look in the mirror, and you see what's wrong, but you're going to go out.
Right. Crazy.
I mean, seriously. But hey,
now,
each his own.
Now, back in the days, you didn't really have the worries of what is the product in the silicone that they're going to be injecting into me today. You don't have these situations. We had a lot of horrific situations. Raji, who was recently on the show, a while back, a couple of seasons, and she was telling us about, how they stuffed her with, cement and Fix-A-Flat.
Oh, my God.
And she had no idea. She went in for, silicone surgery, and she ended up coming out as Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. It was not cute.
Oh, I remember back in those days, when I used to live on 103rd and Broadway, and I had met these two, I think it was three. There was three transgender girls that lived together in this apartment, and they had oil. These were old school girls.
Yeah.
They had oil in their cheeks. It was horrendous because I'm like, why would you be so desperate to put something like that in your face when you know you got to live the rest of your life?
Right. Amazing.
Like this. But that was the time, but it's just scary to know that there's wicked and evil and disgusting people out there to do harm to kids that are desperate. But you just got to be careful. You got to be careful. And if you love yourself, like you say you do, don't do this to yourself. Don't do this to yourself. Find information. Pay for it. Pay for it the right way. This is for the rest of your life. It's not going to go away. Oh, I can take it out. Yeah, you're going to try to take it out, but it's going to harm you. It's going to leave scars on you.
Right. Wow.
So why go and do all of that and then not look right?
Wow. Crazy.
It's amazing. It's amazing. It's an amazing world. It's wow. Wow is right.
Things people do to make a buck and feel fabulous and get to their destinations is just crazy, But
I tell you, I mean,
I wanted to jump into the next topic real quick because we're running a little bit out of time. We're running a little bit behind schedule. So I wanted to jump into the next question. Back on previous episodes here on the show, we had a big discussion about the House of Ninja and Apollonia Ninja and
oh my
Sandy
God,
Ninja,
Apollonia.
Yeah. Someone had previously came on the show.
Oh my God, you said Apollonia.
Yes,
especially that time for the Lawan Ball. That's who took me to the Lawan Ball. Apollonia Ninja. She's the one that took me to that ball. Apollonia, because she lived over there on 3rd Avenue. She was living over there on 3rd Avenue and close to where that ball was done. She was the one that took me. Holy shit! Oh my goodness!
There's been a rumor around, because everyone is dying to know who was the original founder of the House of Ninja. Was it Apollonia? Was it Sandy Ninja?
Was it Apollonia or who?
Or Sandy Ninja?
I think it was. I think she was the first Femme Queen girl, but Willie was the founder and the mother and the father. Yeah, but
we
she was
had different several versions of the story here on the show. We have had that Sandy Apollonia was the founder. We have had
no.
Sandy
She was not the founder. Believe me, because I lived that time. And Willie Ninja was the creator, the founder, the mother, the father, and Apollonia was a daughter. And I remember when Willie was doing ¿cómo se llama? Café con leche. Remember he was working at the door, Café con leche?
Right.
I had a Polaroid picture of Apollonia that was signed to me years ago.
Wow.
And a Polaroid picture of her. And she put to Carmen, love you, boom, boom. And I said, the one that's going to love this picture is going to be Willie. And I took it to him, and he gagged. He was like, girl, where did you get? I said, read it. It was dedicated for me.
Wow.
So, yeah, and Willie was the founder and the creator of the House of Ninja. Apollonia was his first daughter, his first pick. His first daughter.
Apollonia.
And she was scared. She was
What about
scared.
Sandy Ninja? How does Sandy Ninja come into play?
Candy? Who's Candy?
Sandy Ninja.
Sandy.
Yeah.
Well, that was also her name. But she watched Prince and all of that, and she loved the name Apollonia.
So that was so everyone's
that's
thinking
the same person. Sandy
and Apollonia are two different people.
Yeah, Sandy and Apollonia are the same person. That was her first name, Sandy Ninja. And then she saw Apollonia in the Purple Rain, and she loved that name, and she switched it to Apollonia.
Wow.
Because I used to be a vanity freak, and she loved Apollonia. She was like, no, Apollonia got it.
has been
Yeah.
dying to get to the bottom. We've been
But
at
they're
this for like
both
a
the
year
same
and a half.
person. Easy. Yeah, they're both, honey, they're both the same person. Sandy and Apollonia are both the same. Her first name was Sandy, and then she saw, Purple Rain. She loved Apollonia, so she switched it.
Work.
But it's the same. And yeah, Willie was the founder and the mother, the father, because I never saw a mother. I always saw
Well,
Willie.
there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Out there who's tuning in tonight, you have it. We finally came to discussion where your Willie Ninja is the original founder. Let's see what ballroom community sits with that, because everyone's going to start debating and discussing things. You know Madonna did that little tribute to Prince last night, and everyone was reading.
Oh my goodness.
Let's see what they got to say about this tonight. But I have one more question for you tonight before I let you go, because we're running out of time. I wanted to go over your categories. What categories did you walk all together? What are the different categories that you've experienced?
Well, my category was really safe. I have walked Sex Siren like maybe twice or three times.
Work.
Yeah, I remember the first time I walked Sex Siren was when ay, ¿cómo se llama? Coño, que se me olvida los nombres. Scorpio was the father. And it was at a latex ball, and we slammed that ball. We set those kids that were walking, because it was father and mother, to walk Sex Siren or whatever. And me and Scorpio stopped it. We turned that shit out. And then mother and daughter for face at another latex ball. It was me and Miriam. You remember Miriam?
Yes. Wow.
So
what year was that latex ball that you guys walked?
Oh my God.
That had to be in the 90s.
Why do you do this to me? Why do you do this to me?
That had to be in the 90s. It had to be.
I have memory loss.
Wow.
I have memory loss, loca. I don't remember. I know it was in the 90s, late 90s or mid 90s, and it was maybe it was 2000 or 2000. I can't remember, honey. I know it was in the 90s or 2000.
It could have been
1999. It was at a latex ball, and it was everybody had to wear white at that time.
Wow.
Not like now that everybody wears their whatever color, whatever. But at that time, and me and Miriam stopped it. It was fierce. It was fierce. And I remember back in the days, I wanted to do Model's effect. And I wasn't a walking queen. I wasn't runway or anything. And Mother Angie used to read. She was like, "Girl, you got the face, but forget the walk." She said, "How dare you?" She said, "Well, you don't." But Mother Angie was a walking diva, honey.
Wow.
That was one walking girl, honey. She lived in fucking high heels. She would not take the high heels off even in the daytime. Wow. She'd walk with jeans and high heels on. I'm like, "Aren't you in pain, girl? Look, I'm going through pain looking at you."
Jeez.
Yep.
Wow. Oh my! I'm so glad we had you on the show tonight. It was an
amazing
experience.
You know, you just brought me through so many years and so many great memories. And I'm so glad you had me here, Izzy. I really appreciate it. Thank you so very much.
You're so very welcome. We are honored to have you here on BallroomSceneRadio.com, which is the hottest station on the Internet Nation, by the way.
Let me just yell out hello to my daughter.
Yes, please give a shout out to everybody who you want. If there's anybody who you want to give a shout out to, please feel free. Now is the time.
I love you, girls, all of you. You know who you are. I'll see you tomorrow. I'll see you Friday at the Pops Ball in Miami.
I know that's right. We'll be there.
Blessings.
Yes. I want to thank you so much once again, Carmen Extravaganza, for coming on the show. It takes a lot of courage, to come on the show and, give some experience on your journey in life and ballroom and community and culture and everything. Is amazing. I had a really good time on the air. You have a lot of great fans. A lot of people were tuned in tonight. Also want to give a great big shout out to Father Richards, who's tuning in tonight. Also want to give a great big shout out to Donatello Bogatti, Jada Icon Infinity, Brianna Diaz. Want to give a great big shout out to Tiberius Stretch Ninja, Danny, for hooking this interview up. and working very hard behind the scenes. I also want to give a great big shout out to DJ Luna on the ones and twos tonight. We have him coming up a little bit later. And is there anything? As a matter of fact, you know what? Real quick, let everybody know how they can get in contact with you through social media. You have an Instagram, Twitter, anything like that? Any social media besides Facebook? Hello, Carmen?
Yeah.
Yeah, do you have a social media feed which you want to promote to the fans out there?
A social media theme?
You want to give your social media, your Twitter, your Instagram, tell the people how they can contact you.
Just Facebook. I'm an old school. I'm not good with the internet too much. I just know Facebook. I want to say a big kiss to Jada. I love you so much. Jada Icon. My daughter that just moved here from New York, Jolene Extravaganza. I love you. Sean Extravaganza. And my husband here, who is amazing. And my new little baby who I just got for Mother's Day.
I know.
She's a Shih Tzu. Love you, people.
Alrighty, I'll let you go. Thank you for joining us tonight on tonight's show. And don't forget, keep me posted. And you have my number.
Okie doke.
Thank you so much.
Bye,
Have a
honey.
good night. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Real quick, I have DJ Luna here with us in the studio. Say what's up, DJ.
Good evening.
How are you?
Still tired from my little vacation I just got back from. But,
Yes.
but
That was a pretty decent set you spent earlier.
thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Tell us a little bit about yourself real quick.
What would you want to know?
How long you been, DJing in this music?
Well, I've been doing it for 25 years now.
Wow.
Okay. I started when I was 14 years old with the purchase of a very simple, realistic mixing board from Radio Shack and a $40 amplifier and speaker. And then working with tape decks and an old CD player.
Wow.
I was doing backyard parties with that.
Yes. Wow. And You're residents in Florida now, huh?
Yes, I am a resident of Florida right now.
Tell us a little bit about, some of the places you spin. Give us the tea on the Florida nightlife.
Well, I pretty much played in virtually every major city in the Florida Peninsula, for the exception of the Panhandle area. I have not done anything in Tallahassee or in Pensacola or that part of Florida yet, but I have been in Gainesville, Ocala, Orlando, Jacksonville, Daytona, here in the Tampa Bay area, in the St. Petersburg area. Done Sarasota. Miami is some of my biggest gigs are in Miami, and I even got a chance to play in Key West.
Work. Yeah. I know that's right. Now, that was a pretty classic, iconic house set. Tell us a little bit about your house music experience, where you come from, your background.
Okay. I was introduced to house music by a coworker from a place that I used to work at up in Long Island, New York, and he brought the whole vibe of house music to my attention with some CDs that he just really liked and enjoyed, and he says, "This is the stuff you're gonna want to get into, Brian. This is what you want to get into." So I was like, "Okay," and so he introduced me to that. Plus, I also was enjoying what the local radio stations were playing, so I was gathering up music. Even at 14 years old, I was gathering up music, and then by the time I was 21, that's when my house music experience really took off.
Wow!
For the lack of better words, it really took off. Ooh. And playing more regularly out and about.
Word. So I hear you're from up north.
Yes, I'm originally from Long Island, New York.
Work. Shout out to New York. And how many years did you spend in New York as well?
I have spent in New York, yes, and in the city as well.
That's right. Give us some of the places you spent in New York. Give us some New York history about you.
Okay, my history is a little bit more younger than what we had with Carmen Extravaganza on the radio. So, a lot of the stuff that you folks were talking about before, I don't know because I'm not of that era of the 80s and the early 90s. I'm more of the late 90s, early 2000s. So, as far as what went on with that scene, I really did not know much of that. It wasn't until about I'm going to say 1999 when I was really truly introduced to the scene with a residency that I actually landed quite literally because of an accident. So
really,
wow. I have played in New York City. My experiences with New York City goes back to playing at the Roxy, which is, if you know the Roxy, it's a big skating rink.
Yeah.
Okay. The Roxy. Played at the Limelight, and for all you people from the
Legendary.
city, okay, you know what the Limelight was, that church that was right there in the village, okay, the converted church that was turned into a nightclub.
Yeah, I believe it was 8th Street. Was it 8th Street?
I believe it was 8th Street. I don't remember it exactly, but it's such a long
Street,
time.
20,
yeah.
Maybe like 20th Street, 20-something, 21st?
21st,
maybe,
I think. Yeah,
yeah, something around there.
8th and 21st. It's down there by the village and whatnot.
Right.
Now, another and one of my better experience with the Limelight was when I got a chance to spin with the legendary Kiyoki. Yes, everybody knows Kiyoki from Party Monster.
Yes.
From the movie Party Monster. Well,
We're actually planning on having Michael Allen on the show soon too, so we got to stay tuned for that one.
Yeah. And also Victor Calderon, who was a resident DJ from that club. Okay.
Victor Calderon.
All right.
Can't forget about Victor.
Yeah, another experience I also had was with the club called Exit.
Exit,
okay,
yes.
Exit. All right, which was in Midtown.
I remember Exit.
The big wig of that club was Junior Vasquez. And one of my first experience with that one was I was actually playing a nightclub out in Long Island one Saturday night, and I had gotten a phone call from the promoter of Exit, and he asked me, "Can you be out here in Exit real quickly by like 4 a.m. to open up for Junior Vasquez?" And I was like,
yes!
You do realize I'm out in Long Island right now, right? Wow. It's going to take me, even at this time of the night, some 1 hour to get into the city. I don't care. Just get into the city, right? So I raced on out there, and knowing what that club was featuring and whatnot, I decided to go ahead and pull out my records that would work well with that. My record, and I'm talking records, not CDs. We're talking the 12-inch records that you put a needle on. For you people who have lost touch with those, with the legendary vinyl records for DJs.
Right.
So, my first experience with Junior Vasquez, here I am in the DJ booth, and I'm playing my set, and here he comes, and I was like, okay, I know exactly who he is because I've seen pictures of him, and so I said, all right, let me go ahead and start taking the needles off the turntables and get myself cleared out of the way so he could start. And he goes, no, wait. Keep going, man. Keep going. Your set is amazing. You're killing it out there. The crowd is loving it. I'll come back in about 30 minutes, and I'll take over. So I was like, you sure? You're on right now in 5 minutes, right? And it's like, no, seriously, keep going, right? So I kept on going, and more people started getting to know who DJ Luna was. Wow. Okay? And where my big residency hit was when I was playing over in Fire Island, okay? And if anybody who remembers that time, and still is from what I understand right now, I haven't really followed much of the New York City circuit lately, but anybody remembers that if you're in New York City, and instead of partying in New York City, if you wanted to party out in Long Island, Fire Island was the place to go to. Cherry Grove, Fire Island Pines, okay, David's Park, those were the hot spots out in Long Island.
Yes.
And I landed a residency, as I had mentioned before, literally by an accident. The club owner, the club that I was a resident out in Fire Island, he owned the club out in Long Island in a town called Shirley. And what happened one night is I was coming home from another bar that I was just shooting pool at and just, chilling out, having a couple of drinks. And I said, let me go check this place out. I heard about it. Let me go see what's going on, right? So as I was on my way home, I had to pass this one bar/club. And when I came up to where the bar and club was, there was a lot of emergency vehicles right by the right by the club. And I was
What?
like, uh-oh, what's going on here, right? And I was like, and this club was already known to be in not exactly the greatest of neighborhoods. So I was like, oh, great. So there was either a bar brawl or a shooting that went on here. So I was like, great. Do I really want to check this place out?
Yeah.
But you know what? I still said, you know what? Let me go check it out anyway. So I walked in.
Wow.
When I walked in, the club was not exactly packed. It was actually quite dead, if you ask me. Really? There was not many people there, and I was looking at this one. I was looking at this DJ booth, and I see what looked like to be this older fellow in the DJ booth, and it turns out it was the bar manager, and he knew how to spin, so he got up there and started. He was up there playing music, so I was like, what are you doing in the DJ booth? He said, I'm all rust. My feathers are all ruffled up and everything like that. My DJ was hit by a car and everything like that. What? And it's like all this mess out here on the front, in front of the club with all the emergency vehicles is because your DJ got hit by a car. He says, yeah. He went. Wow. He had asked to go on break. DJ decided to run across the street to this diner that was right across the street from the place to get something to munch on and come back and finish off his set, right? Well, in the process, somebody took him out. Took him out on this road. And then what made matters even worse is that another vehicle with a snowplow slammed into that vehicle that hit the DJ. Oh, no. So he did not look like, it did not look like that he was going to survive that. But yes, it was terrible. It was terrible. But it from what I saw and everything, it didn't look like this DJ was going to survive. And 2 years later, he came to the club where I was playing out in Cherry Grove, Fire Island, and he says, "You're the guy that replaced me." And I was like, replaced you? And I was like, then I realized who I was talking to. He says, "You're the DJ that, that Rum Runners had." Actually, that was the name of the club that I initially took over. Right? You're the DJ that played at Rum Runners. And I said, yes. I was like, okay. What's this? And he told me that he was not going to go back into it. So, I mean, the residency became permanently mine after that. So, but I got a chance to, with that residency, meet up some of the bigger remixers out there. Peter Rawhofer, the boys from Thunderpuss, Barry Harris and Chris Cox. I've got a chance to meet Victor Calderone, Kyoki, Hex Hector, Mac Quail, Des Rock. Okay.
These are legendary DJs.
Yeah. All of them, okay, all the major remixes. I even got a chance to experience and work with some of the performers, like Xtravaganza was just talking about. I got a chance to work with Kevin Aviance.
Yes, we had Kevin Aviance on the show. Great guy, amazingly funny.
It's been a while since I've spoken to him, but I have, in fact, one of my CDs right now is loaded up in the deck right now of one of his tracks. He autographed the CD for me the one time that I actually ran into him out in Cherry Grove, Ireland. He was doing a show and a performance at the Ice Palace, which is across the boardwalk from where I was playing at.
Yes.
Okay. So I got a chance to work with him, and I guess probably one of the most notable queens that I actually got a chance to work with, RuPaul. RuPaul, yes, wow. You better work. That was one of his favorite lines right there. You better work at Webster Hall. Yes. So
amazing.
So
wow, all this from DJing all the way from New York, all the way now you're in Florida. Oh my God, wow.
Yep, and now here I am. Made it a permanent change to my lifestyle here and living down in Florida, which, I'm not going to deny. I do miss New York. I miss the circuit up in New York.
Right. Who doesn't?
Right. But
it's just, New York it's gotten way too fast. Beyond people's imagination. Like, it's just, I don't know, it's just too, for me, my personal opinion, it's a little too compacted for me,
I mean, it's been a while since I've been to New York, but I mean, everybody who I've talked to, who has traveled down here from New York, they told me, the pace of lifestyle is like no other. And it is true. I mean, if you don't know New York City, people it's one of those cities that it truly, when they say the city that never sleeps, it's truly the city that never sleeps. Okay, give you an example. Okay, most places are open 24 hours there, especially eateries up there. All right, give you an example. McDonald's. Okay, just recently McDonald's turned around and started offering breakfast.
Right.
24 hours now down here in Florida. Well, guess what? It all started up there in New York because you were able to get an Egg McMuffin at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, as well as just like you were. It was 3 o'clock in the morning. So, come on now. I mean, another one. Most of the delis out there, which are few and far between here in the state of Florida, most delis, you want a bacon, egg, and cheese on a roll. Come on now. Okay? You can get a bacon, egg, and cheese on a roll at any time of the day or night. It didn't matter. Okay?
Right.
You want a slice of pizza at 4 o'clock in the morning, you can. You can find a pizzeria that was open, and there you go.
Yes.
That's where the city that never sleeps.
Love that about New York.
Right. In my other job outside of DJing, I am in the transportation business, and every once in a while, I'll have customers telling me, "Oh, the traffic is horrible over here in Tampa," and it says, "Drive New York City and then come back and talk to me."
Yeah. You won't make it you'll make it from one red light to the next red light in like 2 hours.
All right. There is this true statistic fact, and I'm going to tie you right back to the city that never sleeps. Okay. During the daytime, one can drive at an average of 2.4 miles per hour in New York City. If you're crazy enough to go ahead and drive in the city in the first place.
Exactly.
Okay. Then at nighttime, surprisingly, that speed does increase. It increases to 3.1 miles per hour. That's a true fact. These are true facts. Okay. This was a study that was done by various different insurance agencies and whatnot, and they've come back. The average speed during the day is 2.4 miles per hour driving in New York, and 3.1 at nighttime. So, but. That's why that city is known as the city that never sleeps. There are clubs out there that are open 24 hours. Not this stuff where, all right, last call at 3 o'clock in the morning and then pack it up, Yeah. Yes. It's 24 hours. Exit was a 24-hour club. Sound Factory was a 24-hour club, if you remember. What else? Roxy, I mean, outside of what Peter Auhofer and Star 69 labeled, the other Star 69 labeled DJs, what they were doing there, during the daytime, it was a roller skating rink. So, I mean, there was a constant vibe going on every time, literally the entire day.
Wow.
So.
Wow.
So.
Well, I hear you have a fantabulous mix for us coming to end the show.
I have. And I'm gonna give a little bit more of that New York City vibe that I was dropping before. A lot of the remixes, as you heard before, I was doing some Junior Vasquez remixes, and then I got into some of the last track that I was just playing was a Merc Miami mix, and that was a great track from Christine W. If everybody knows that one,
yes.
All right. That song, I was introduced to that song at a nightclub called Splash Bar New York. You remember that one?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, right?
Yes.
That was a great club and everything like that. Splash Bar New York. Yes. All right. And
oh wow. I remember Splash by the Rocks.
Right.
Beautiful.
So
little quiet little area close to Williamsburg, Brooklyn.
Mm-hmm.
Amazing.
Right.
I love that area. I used to love that spot. But yeah, man, you have any shout outs, anything you want to promote real quick before you jump back on the ones and twos?
Well, if you take a listen, here is a better way actually. If you're interested in some of the other sounds that I actually do, it's very simple. You can go directly to my website, www.dvjluna, and that's D as in Delta, V as in Victor, J as in Juliet, Luna, LUNA.com. And just go to the music tab and the media tab. Excuse me.
Yes.
You'll see a list of music remixes that I actually produce. Some of my more recent remixes, and also you'll see some of my mixed compilation CDs I have out that are still in press.
Yes. Definitely.
So-
You also have a radio station as well.
I was running a radio station. It's on hiatus right now, so I do plan on bringing it back once I get things back in order, whatnot, with the changes that I've made and so forth and so on. But yes, I did have a radio station going one time. I was playing originally for a website called orbitalgrooves.com. And that's where I made my debut broadcasting.
Wow.
My debut broadcasting. And then it was then transferred over to, if you saw one of my pictures in the Facebook there, it said TEK. Well, TEK had a radio station. I'm sorry, they still do have that radio station. They still have the radio station called projectradio.us. And there, I was one of the longest resident DJs for that station and whatnot, and I was doing a show every Friday. And my platform was not that much different than what your show is.
Wow.
The only difference is that we don't really talk much with my show. It's more of the music. But I'll go ahead and bring in guest DJs, and I have had quite a few locals and some legends of the area and whatnot. And it was at one point it was the most widely listened show on Project Radio, but I had some changes that I had to make and whatnot, so I had to back away from DJing and kind of like do, focus on my changes that I was putting in place.
Wow.
And I'm now just getting back into the scene and whatnot. And one of my ways that I got back into the scene was you guys discovered me.
Right.
You discovered me through a common friend.
Right, correct. Shout out to Alyssa Haley Walker, by the way. She's doing great things. She has a new up-and-coming album coming out, by the way.
Yeah, so, I've done some remixes of her work.
Yes.
So I was like, okay, yeah. And how I ran into Alyssa was, I was actually on a trip in Hawaii, and I happened to get into one of the local social media sites, and Alyssa happened to be on that site, and I messaged Alyssa, and we just got started getting into conversations, and the next thing I know, I was like, oh yeah, I'm looking for a recording studio. So it's like, let me get a shot at it and see. So Alyssa presented the material to me, and I was like, wow, this stuff is actually good. So I had asked to do a remix of one of her tracks. So,
right.
And I do have that track here with me tonight. I don't know if I'm going to play it or not, but we'll see. Depends on what the vibe is that I got. Depends on what the vibe is.
Definitely.
But I will tell you right now, you can go ahead and find that remix on my website. If you go to www.dvjluna.com, hit the media tab, all my remixes, my best remixes, not all of them, my best remixes are on there, and then my last 7 CDs that I have released is on there. 7 or 8, I don't remember. Something like that. But I'm about to release another. I'm about to release another one in the near future, within the next couple of months.
I know that's right.
So
yes.
So.
Wow. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Don't forget, please check out DVJLuna.com, is it?
Yes. And there also, you'll get connected to all my social media sites as well. My Twitter link is in there. My Instagram link is in there. My Facebook link is in there. My YouTube link is in there as well. So do not hesitate to click on those links and hit me up. Add me on your Facebook list and whatnot. And if I don't have the room to add you, at least follow me, because you'll be able to get updates on what I'm doing, where I'm playing, why I'm playing, how things are progressing with DVJ Luna, and so forth and so on. Yeah.
Yes. Well, all right. Are you ready to get back on the ones and twos and turn it up?
Sure, why not?
Yes, because the people are definitely waiting. I have a lot of messages from everybody who's tuning in, by the way. If I have not mentioned it, I'm going to mention it again. Thank you guys for tuning in tonight. All you guys, you keep us alive. You give us the the positive energy to continue. You know what I'm saying? So thanks for tuning in to BallsingRadio.com, which is the hottest station on the Internet Nation, by the way. It's your boy Izzy Stars LaBeija, and once again, I have DVJ Luna in the building. And don't forget, if you guys missed the interview earlier with icon Carmen Imaculada Xtravaganza, please feel free to, after the show, check up our website and pull up the episode again. It will be archived, and you guys can listen to the show again today, tomorrow, whenever you guys are ready. And we got a wonderful night for you. We're going to finish it up with DVJ Luna. Once again, don't forget, please check him out on his website, dvjluna.com, and click on his media tab, and you will find some of the awesome remixes and music that were spun today. I'm sorry. And find some more mixes by DVJ Luna Stars, by the way. And we're going to be having more of the VJ Luna on the show. We're going to be bringing in a couple more guest DJs periodically. So don't forget, please stay tuned. And once again, it's your boy Izzy Stars LaBeija. And we're getting ready to go back into the mix. Just let me know when you're ready, DJ. And we can get this cracking, huh? Here it is. This is what I want to open up with. Don't forget, this month, May 27th, The Popple by Icon, Angel Infinity, and also Milan. It's going down here in Miami, Florida. Don't forget, Icon, Carmen Imaculada Xtravaganza will be there. Hector Extravaganza will be there. Warren Milan will be on the judges panel. Sheena Castro will be on the judges panel. Jose Strummer, a.k.a. Jojo Ebony, will be on the judges panel. And it's going to be a fabulous night. So check out the categories found on Facebook. Don't forget, you can hit me up on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all that good stuff. So once again, I have DJ VJ, DVJ Luna, getting ready to bring you the hottest beats on the hottest station on the internet nation, BallsRadio.com. See you next Monday, everybody.
to make to each and every one of you here tonight. I think it's time that we all go dive in the pool. Y'all wanna go dive in the pool? I know y'all wanna go dive in the pool. Come on! Come on! Let's go! Let's get soaking wet!
Extravaganza.